Ninja, sumo, samurai. These are words from Japan's great history, but now when I hear them, all I can think about is Australian external video recorders. Thanks, Atomos.
Welcome back, DPReview TV viewers. Chris Nichols here from DPReview TV, and welcome to Alberta's autumn season. We get about a week of it, and then everything dies, and then everything freezes solid. So enjoy it while you've got it. It looks nice right now. And this is a nice backdrop for our Ninja 5 from Atomos review. I mean, this is one of the more exciting products, especially if you're into what everybody's into now, vlogging, making their own video productions, maybe even getting into short film and some commercial work. So today, we're gonna take a look at what this product has to offer. Now you might be asking yourself, why do I need to buy another piece of equipment if I've already got a screen on the back of my camera and it records video internally? And that's a good question, but there's a lot of benefits. If you consider now that we've got new full-frame mirrorless cameras like the Canon EOS R, the Nikon Z7 and 6, these cameras are specifically advertising 10-bit recording, but you need an external recorder to unlock that feature. But the first thing I want to address is this screen, because this has a beautiful 5-inch screen. It's 1920 by 1200 resolution, and it's 1000 nits, so it's way brighter and way easier to see than, frankly, the kind of crappy LCD that you have on the back of your camera right now. You also get things like waveforms, peaking if your camera doesn't support that, to help you get the shot just right. And of course, note how it's quite compact. I can fit this on top of a camera with a very cheap little ball head like this, and I don't have to have a full rig. So this lets me also point to screen in any direction I want. I'm not limited by the directionality of my LCD on the back of the camera. I could even go so far as to take this off-camera remote, send my signal wirelessly, and then you can have a director of photography or the art director or a client see the footage you're recording and give their input. So let's explore the device, shall we? We've just talked about mounting it, and how you do that is with 3/8 screw threads on either the top or bottom of the device, and those both come with 1/4-inch bushing, so that's convenient. Here on the side, we've got our full HDMI cable input as well as another HDMI output. So we could go to another monitor if we wanted to get multiple people watching this thing. Here on the side over here, we've got the power button. We've also got a 3.5mm mic jack and a 3.5mm headphone jack, as well as a remote attachment where you could put like a LANC controller, for example. Now, the thing that really is quite amazing about the Atomos 5 and kind of sets it apart from some of the other devices that they've made is it's tiny. I mean, they've really made this as compact as possible. Incredibly thin. It is now an aluminum body on the outside with a polycarbonate back, as opposed to the larger devices we played with in the past, which are fairly cheap feeling big plastic bodies. Now right here you can see, of course, the battery. This is a Sony L battery, but keep in mind that this particular unit as it comes does not come with batteries. They're assuming a lot of people in the industry are going to have tons of these at home, but if you don't, you are looking at another battery and charger. Now underneath the L-series battery, at the very bottom, there's actually a multifunction port. Now Atomos has made 2 devices so far. There's a timecode device as well as a transmitter. Those slot into the battery port, and then your L batteries go into that and pass the power through. It's a clever way to add new features, but also work with the minimal real estate that we have on such a small device. Now of course you have to record your media to something, and very typical of course for recorders, it's recording to SSDs. They give us storage space for 4K video. Take a standard SSD drive, use the caddies that they provide, and then you can click it in here. But I do want to mention that they do stick out of the body a couple inches, so you lose a little bit of that compact nature. Now what we have here though is a different device. So this is made specifically for the Atomos by a company called Angelbird. This is an SSD but built into its own housing, so it doesn't require a caddy, and you can see that it's flush with the side of the body. These are called the Atom X devices. They're a little pricey, but it does give you a very sleek interface. The last thing I want to mention about this body in general is right up here we've got a fan. So it is very compact, it dissipates the heat well, but you do have to keep in mind it does make a fair bit of noise. You certainly wouldn't want this monitor too close to any sort of microphones. So the Atomos Ninja 5's got a lot going for it. It's compact in nature and it's actually quite affordable for what you get, but there are some limitations because of all that. First off, with the small size, you'll notice a distinct lack of buttons. So this is completely dependent on a touchscreen interface for everything. There isn't even a button to do start and stop record. Now the interface works fine, except if you have to wear gloves, for example. So if there's any reason you can't touch the screen directly, you're going to be out of luck. Another issue that you're going to have here, a lot of the other external recorders on the market were actually also really good audio recorders. I mean, we tested the Atomos Ninja Inferno, albeit with crazy dongles, you did get good audio recording. And of note, Sound Devices made their video device line with the Pixie brand, and those actually had really elegant audio control recording. This just has a standard 3.5mm jack. It's not a big deal, but you're not going to use this as your one-stop audio recording shop. The only thing that I do like about this, having that headphone jack is nice because a lot of cameras on the market you might be using to record from often don't have headphone jacks. If you buy this device, you now have a pass-through, put your headphone up in the monitors, and you get that all-important audio check with those headphones on.
So you can see viewability of the Ninja 5 is really nice when you're out shooting during the day, but as well, this is actually an HDR display. So we're starting to see on a lot of mirrorless cameras, professional video cameras, they can capture HLG. This will display it properly, so you can actually preview what your HDR image is going to look like while you're out in the field. Another really handy feature is that you've got full Lut support built in for this, and you can actually put your own on. So if there's a particular look you really like to use when you're recording log, you can actually apply it right onto the monitor and see it while you're shooting. It's also really awesome if you're working with clients. They don't have to look at a disgusting gray image while you're shooting. They can look at a nice, pretty graded image instead. In terms of what the Ninja 5 can actually capture, it's pretty amazing. We're getting full support for 4K up to 60 frames per second, and it'll give you ProRes LT, 422, HQ. You can also do DNX HD if you're working with an Avid workflow. Anyways, it's nice that it's very future-proof. So you may have noticed there have been a lot of camera announcements lately, so I wanted to talk about how much you'll actually gain with one of these recorders depending on the camera model you choose. Now, if you're looking at a Nikon Z6 or Z7, I think this is an absolute no-brainer. You need an external recorder in order to get 10-bit and even to get log recording out of it to take full advantage of the dynamic range. This is an essential accessory for those cameras. If you're looking at the Canon EOS R, there you're getting 10-bit on it, but it has a fully articulating screen, and when I compared the 10-bit to the standard internal 8-bit recording, I didn't see a huge difference with that, so I don't think it's quite as essential for this. Looking at the GH5 and GH5S, those cameras will shoot 10-bit up to 30 frames per second, but if you like to record at 60 frames per second, one of these guys will get you 10-bit 60, and you will definitely notice an improvement with that. Now, if you're lucky enough to have the new Fuji X-T3, I didn't see a huge difference between recording internally and kicking out a 422 10-bit signal with this recorder, but remember, you just have that weird three-way display. This will let you vlog so you can see the screen. So what about all you Sony shooters? Well, you're all sitting around waiting for an A7S III. I hope it's been announced by the time you actually see this video. You may want to grab one of these because those have excellent autofocus, but no fully articulating screen. So you might want to use this just as a monitor, but as well, you do get 422 output from those. And if you're shooting a lot of S-Log, you will definitely see a difference. So it may sound like I'm really fawning over the Ninja 5, but honestly, this has become a really invaluable piece of my kit, and it's small enough that I generally bring it with me when I'm traveling as well. One thing to remember, this is still pre-production firmware, everything that I'm showing you, but it feels very fluid, it's a very elegant interface, and it's only going to get better. One thing I really like about Atomos is we do see features added regularly through firmware, even after the product is already shipped, so you can look forward to some nice, cool stuff that way. The biggest takeaway I think you really need to know is that this is priced very similar to some entry-level monitors, but you're also getting this wonderful external recording capability, an HDR display, and a very bright one that you can see outside. I think this is a smoking deal, and you should definitely take a look at it if you're excited with using the mirrorless cameras to capture video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Let me know if you want to see some more video content.
Whoa,
but also
more photography content.
No, so much. We mostly do photography. You might want to do some video once in a while, but don't forget, follow both of us, even people interrupting, people talking, on Instagram, and follow us on Twitter. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see y'all again soon.